Hey, welcome to another edition of Toolbox Tuesday. It is really hot outside. Today the weather says it's going to be about 100 degrees, and so as technicians, guess where one of the places we have to go? That's right, up in attics. So what do we do to make sure that we're safe in these really extreme conditions? Well, one of the things is we've got to really stay hydrated. So let's talk about some tips to make sure that we're really safe during this hot time. One of the things that you have to do is make sure that you take frequent breaks. Have a cooler. This cooler is actually made by Klein. How cool is that, right? A technician with Klein tools and a Klein water cooler. So load that thing up, make sure you've got plenty of water, make sure you've got some sport drinks, maybe some juices, things that have a lot of electrolytes in those. One of the things that we also need to talk about is kind of this progression of what can happen, right? Everybody knows about heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and we've heard those terms, but they're very different. So what happens first is you get heat cramps, then that moves on to heat exhaustion, and then, regretfully, heat stroke is after that. And we hope that none of that happens to anybody out there. There's some symptoms that you need to look for. Number one, profuse sweating, nauseous, vomiting, dizzy, headaches, cramps. All of those things can be indicators that heat exhaustion is kind of setting on. Another thing that you can do is tell the homeowner. I mean, we're in the house after all, right? And they're there and they're down in the AC, and hopefully it's cooler downstairs or wherever they're located than wherever we are. So we want to tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to be up and I'm going to come down about every 10 or 15 minutes. And if you don't see me or hear from me in about 10, 15 minutes, just yell my name and make sure I respond. Something could happen up in the attic and, you pass out or you black out. And if you don't respond, then the homeowner could be there to make sure that you're okay. Guess what else that does? It also allows us an opportunity to build some relationship, build some rapport to the person whose house we're in. At the end of the day, we've got to come back down and talk about our findings. We've got to come back down and settle up with the homeowner. And so this is an opportunity for us to have some conversation with the homeowner that could lead to a better performance in our job overall. It also speaks to the number one thing that all technicians should be concerned with, and that's safety. And so when the homeowner knows that, listen, this person is concerned about their safety and making sure that they're okay, they're going to be concerned about the safety of my equipment, they're going to be as concerned about the safety of my house, and those things are all going to tie in together in the whole job. In your cooler, there's also kind of some foods. I mean, we get hungry, we snack, but sometimes people just aren't into drinking water. I mean, I actually had to get accustomed to it and start drinking more water, and the heat in Texas will definitely do that for you. There's some foods that we also have that you can add with the liquids that you can consume that help dealing with hot weather conditions. One of the foods, and most people probably never thought about it, are cucumbers. Cucumbers, not only do they taste great, but they're made up of about 95% water. And so that's an excellent food to have as a snack while you're working in your cooler. You can have oranges, watermelons, pineapples, kiwi fruit. All of those types of fruits you can have in there as a snack to help stay hydrated. The other thing that we have to remember is the start of the cooling season. Temperatures don't start off at 100 degrees. Usually there's a buildup time. So your body has to acclimate to those temperatures. So the time that you really want to be careful is when it really starts to get hot and it's your first couple of times up in a really hot attic. Give yourself time to acclimate to those conditions. We don't want to isolate hot temperatures just to attic spaces. I mean, you could be anywhere. You could be on a rooftop and just no shade around. There's a bunch of different areas that we can be working in where it's really hot. You can just be outside and it's just one of those days where it's hot. You're just out by the condensing unit on the side of a house. All of those conditions play factors into how our body can handle the heat during this time. So no matter where you are, the number one thing to do is to make sure that you are safe in hot weather conditions. Some of the things to remember: number one, it's a progression. Heat cramps, heat exhaustion, then heat stroke. Number two, there's some symptoms out there that you need to watch out for: profuse sweating, weakness, dizziness, vomiting, headaches, cramps. Number 3, make sure you stay hydrated, rehydrate. Use good sunscreen, get a lot of fluids in your body, replenish the electrolytes. And then 4th, there's some foods that you can snack on that are great for rehydrating the body: cucumbers, oranges, watermelons, pineapples, and things of that nature. Hey, if you go out there and you kind of have this arsenal of stuff that you can use to help you stay hydrated in the summer, chances are you'll make it through the summer and things will be really, really safe. We appreciate you tuning into another edition of Toolbox Tuesday. We'll see you next time.